What's up? Dude, crazy day today. Absolutely insane. So we had a big run up today. Our system did amazing. Took 250 points off the NQ today. We're going to highlight some of these trades. And then as well, we started the $100 options account on Friday. We're going to give you the update about that. And I have 5 articles to update that are completed. We finished them. This is great. We're going to start with Amazon. I published an article saying how to navigate the Amazonian squeeze. This got an editor's pick from TradingView. Thank you, TradingView. Now let's just take a quick look here. I was talking about 2 different scenarios. It's not as simple as, oh, it's going to go up or it's going to go down. If you look down here, I talked about if we get a hot reaction from the supply zone or this strong seller zone, or if we close below 233.50 tomorrow, look for a retest for your short entry off the supply zone. Now, yeah, I also mentioned now if we stay kind of hovering for like 5 days, it's likely it's going to crack. But I talked about grabbing shorts, even some puts. Maybe, did I say puts in this one? I should have said puts in this one. No. Well, I had puts in another one, but nonetheless, puts would have been excellent too. I was talking about a hedge. I think I did it in my other article, in my long-term article. We'll take a look. Anyways, let's see what happens. Publish this Thursday, July 24th. Let's let it load. Boom. So I said a retest. We retested. Here's your short. 1, 2, 3 days. We closed below 33.50, right? Boom, right here. Here's your short. Boom, short. At the end of the day, boom, 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 bam. There you go. 8% gain on your short. It should be working excellent. Hold on. Let me just make sure that my stream is working here. Getting a little notification that it's not. Let's double check. I definitely don't want to ramp up this much energy again. All right, let me see. This is where it's nice to like cut clips and stuff like that. This is when I'm like, yeah, I like this. This is not bad. All right. So, 8% drop. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. If there's an 8% drop, yeah, we're live right now. Okay, excellent. So I wasn't getting it. Bird, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So, with this, now we have the median demand. Guess what happens? This demand is here. So, that's Amazon. Done played months ago. Target closed. Boom. I hope that helped people out. Also, bonus video, I talk about what's the difference between real sellers versus fake sellers. Excellent video. It's just a short one, but it'd be nice. Let's exit out of this one. Shopify. Oh. Talked about Shopify, the earnings coming in. I gave you an entry. I showed you that there's real buyers stepping into the market. I gave you the demand. I gave you a stop. I gave you another short just in case we reacted poorly off of this. This would have been a target, but I was bullish. I printed this and I said, this is your target, the top of supply. So this was July 28th. Let's see what happens. Loading, 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 loading. Man, I got fiber too. This is crazy. Must be doing some heavy lifting here. Well, nonetheless, without sitting here waiting, that's a long wait. We'll come back to that. Meta. So, Meta is another one. Now, I gave you 2 scenarios. Again, this is a similar situation with Amazon. I gave another kind of idea with Amazon, how we might be able to touch. Let me see. I talked about bounce off the top of Meta is a strong bullish signal. Appears to be under pressure around 729. So, I like the original entry at top of demand. If entering again, I'd wait for a crack below that zone, watch the close. If we recover above it, especially if the dip was deep, that's a strong signal to re-enter. So I talked about calls that you can grab 3 to 5 days out. I didn't actually check the prices on those calls, but let's see what happens here, right? Boom! Snap! Right up. I didn't actually put profit targets out, but there's your buyers. Boom. We also talked about taking some covers, double top. I didn't think it was going to double top, so but it's possible, depending on how. Now, gap ups we can't account for. Let's be real here. I mean, you wouldn't want to be stuck on the opposite side of a gap up, 11% gap up on a major blue chip, but there it is. All right, boom. Okay, Shopify. Here we got it. Top of demand, entry, calls, pow. 154, blew past the top of supply. There's your risk to reward, 2-to-1 risk to reward. Hit that trade perfect too. So here we are at 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to give you one about Apple. Apple, bulls are in control. Now I wasn't assuming that they would come down to the buyer first. I was assuming we'd get a buy and then a pump up. And that's what happened, actually. But we hit the supply first. So, boom, we started getting into the supply. See that rejection, hot rejection, saying sellers are still there. We pressed up into the sellers. The sellers are still active, working their way down, shoving it down, and now we got to this buying zone. Again, we had Trump news with Apple saying that they're going to put 500 billion up or whatever for Apple factories and stuff. This trade ain't over. We're still just between these two players. In all honesty, did we take out a seller? We probably no. We didn't even take out the seller. Oh no, we did. Yeah. So seller shorts are squeezed. This should run. This should run. I might have to republish an article about Apple. I think we might take out these sellers and do whatever. But yeah, there it is. This was published on July 15th. So this was way before it happened. And I'm unless there's crazy news, this should work out perfectly. So looking forward to that. Now, what else? I thought I had another one. Let me see real fast. I thought I had one more. I did. Microsoft was one that I said, should you buy all-time highs? This was a good article. I talked about how it's a strong trend. And I talked about how dollar cost averaging doesn't work as well as full port all-in investing on a stock you're strong about. Typically, full port on a quality stock and a strong trend works out better. Guess what? This is a quality stock and a strong trend. We talked about buying right here. So July 17th, should you buy all-time highs? This was all-time highs. Let's see what happens. Boom. Huge. It was only 4%, but that was that peak, like a crazy percentage. So from this day, you probably would have been up 11 to 25, 3%, 4%. Not a ton. At peak, probably like 6, 7%. But nonetheless, gave some good principles. All of these levels are still intact. So now that we're starting to see some of this smoke come in, we're starting to see some sellers, I can actually start to give you guys a play on Microsoft. So that's going to be one exciting too. All right, we talked about crypto, XRP. Now, I gave you a bunch of levels back in March. A buy signal here, a buy signal here. I gave you a sell signal here, right here. Like legit right here. And it came all the way back down, and then I gave you a buy signal at 190. Boom. All the way back up. So that's all intact too. Now we're in the second stage of XRP. This one's a little sketchier, I'm not going to lie. I do think it's going to continue up, but we do have trap buyers. This is what makes it scary. Because with these trapped buyers, let's just say that you didn't want to come back into the range, right? We do have strong buyers down here, but we also got that tariff news. Tariffs been escalating, so that's been dampening. Weak jobs report, talking about interest rate cuts, all these things. But let's see how we're doing. Boom. Okay, so there was your entry on XRP. You would have taken a drawdown of maybe 4 or 5%. Came down, came back up. This is a strong look, but these buyers have to stay hanging on here. If they can't hang on, if we have an end of week close that's down here, this is not going to look good. In fact, I said raise stop up to about 850 after this initial reaction. Typically, you'd put a stop right below these strong buyers, but sometimes you get these big pushes and it takes a while for these buyers to catch up. So I leave a little bit wider stop, especially if we're still going to get 3-to-1 risk to reward. But now you can bump it up and it's going to be more like 6-to-1 risk to reward. So still looking at that Doge, we nailed the bottom. Quote, I mean, perceived to be bottom. We're going to figure out if it's bottom or not. But we have a few take profits on Doge. This one's still getting evaluated. So let's see what happens. Boom, boom, boom. Buy. I gave you the buy right here. Right here. Just nailed it. Nailed it. And this is a real buyer too. So this is a new aggressor on the buy side. And we're going to see if I'm assuming we're at least going to come up to 24 again. And this is a great risk reward. 2-to-1, nailed the bottom. I mean, that's barely any drawdown. I think we have a great chance of getting up to 24 again. I even bought some of this on my $100 trading account that I started pushing. Speaking of $100 trading account, let's go look. All right. There it is, $107. We are now at 1453. So we started this last Friday. Had a good trade. Nice 100% trade. Might have been a couple trades, but I will recap some of them. We'll look at the history. I don't want to go through my account right now just in case we got Senso info. But yeah, so that was August 2nd, August 3rd. Nothing, that must have been the weekend. And then we had that nice little couple trades here. And then today we took another couple. Yeah, another couple. Boom, boom. I recapped these on the Cafe Trades channel. And then this one was today. And I'm just going to talk about a couple of the trades today because we actually took a little drawdown in the mornings. We got all that back, and then we got another trade. So let us look at the charts here. Right off the bat in the morning, by the way, we had a system that took 250 points off the NASDAQ. That's just monstrous. That's insane. Now looking at this range here, I messed up on my futures account, but just on this first trade, we ended up being really profitable on the futures account today, but just on this first trade, we screwed up. It came back into range. Once it did that, I was like, oh, this is for sure looking bearish, right? Like these buyers are trapped. This is gonna be a down central. But it caught a bid. These buyers hung on and cracked up. So where I took my entry on one of these contracts was when we bludgeoned through this oh no, this is when it was. I remember now. This was a trap trade that I took. This one. Wrong one, I'm looking at the wrong one. This one. This was a trap trade I took. So how it works is bulls come up, they try to go higher, they come back into the range. We did a double top. This is a high likelihood of success, but if it does not work, this is insinuating that shorts are losing control, and this is giving a very reminiscent air of a short squeeze. So what happened? Shorts got squeezed. Right? So we bid a call here after the close, and I just hung on to it. I hung on to it. I think it was in this bar. I think it was this bar here that I sold it out. And that's where we got that first little bump. We took a drawdown. Let me see. One day. We took a drawdown, and I don't remember what that drawdown was from. Wait, here, we have the timestamps. So 7:55. All right, let's go see. Where's 7:55? Yep, 7:55. So this is where I took my trade, my long, short trap. That doesn't seem right, but I'm pretty sure I took it here, 8:05. But nonetheless, yeah, this had to have been it. It had to have been. I think the timestamp on Robinhood's just a few minutes off. But came all the way down, and then, bam, took off. So I'm going to take it. If we came down, that means we dropped down here, and then it came up and squeezed. Well, it wasn't the greatest TA then, was it? But we hung on, and ended up working in our favor. We took a nice, I think I literally topped it here. I didn't think I hung on anymore. I have a video of my second trade. I did a video of the first trade. And then now we have the second trade. This was a painful hold. Oh my Lord. Painful hold. So we had one strong buying indicator. We had two buying indicators. We had three buying indicators. We had four buying indicators. We had five buying indicators. Not only did we have five, we had six. All of these are buy setups with my trading system. And the profit target was, let me see, it was roughly, this was a couple of them. And then this was the next couple of them up here. So, look at that right there. Right there, love. Perfect. So, I was in this trade since here. 8:50, I think. Let's see the timing on it. Yeah, like 8:55. This is all crypto. It says 10. Maybe 10. I think it had to have been like that. I was in a future trade, so it might have, the lines might have got blurred there, but it felt like forever. I felt like I was just sitting in this options trade forever. And I don't like holding options trades typically for more than like 20 minutes because you're just getting theta decay. You're dealing with all that. I'm trading 0DTE out of the money options, so I'm just losing money here. Not a big deal. It wasn't expensive. It was only like a $37 contract. But then we catch the buyer, and boom. By the way, I wonder if I can get rid of it now. By the way, the reason why I hung on to this trade and didn't sell on this, because that would have been a strong case. Not only did we have 6 buying setups, but this buyer hung on by a thread. This buyer right here hung on by a thread. If it would have closed below, I would have closed my contract. But since he hung on by a thread and we took out these, this is like a real settler trying to set up here. Same thing as this. They got squeezed. Boom. Another one. So I knew that we had chance for a continuation. And I think I sold some, let me see. We sold at 11.15 roughly. We'll say roughly. I don't really trust. So we sold right up in this area up here. Still could have got a little bit more, maybe like another, like, what was this? We went from 375 to 415. Said, can't think, $40. From profit, it was only $26. $27. I can't do math right now. It's too late. 8 plus 5, yeah, $23. So not a ton, but it was $23 on a $37 contract. So that's pretty good profit. I might have been able to get another 20 out of that. But when you're dealing with the options, it's not worth it. You kind of want to sell into those extensions. So that is all I have for you today. That was the recap. I actually did a recap out and about. I'm going to post that one on my other channel about the day, how we did an analysis for this. But yeah, that's it. I appreciate you guys watching, man. I'm going to be trading every day. Follow me on X, follow me on TradingView. I'm posting more articles constantly. You heard that noise right there. People are reading, people are watching. So I got stuff on Ethereum. I just posted one on AMD. Buy AMD with confidence. We're going to talk about this big gap down, how to catch. I gave you two trades, and I give you strike prices and the options before you even get there. That's not it. This is it. I give you the take profits. I give you everything. This is all ideas. It's not trading advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but these are ideas to help assist you with your trading and your long term. So, appreciate you guys watching. You guys take care. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.